I mean, he just adored him and really said to me, it was weird because I guess we had been playing something of Eric's on Howard 101 while we were away. And he said, I sat in my driveway for 20 extra minutes listening to Eric the actor. I mean, Jimmy, is there a bigger Eric the actor fan than you?
I don't think. Well, first of all, let me say what an honor it is to follow Hansy and Gonzo Shitcock in contributing
right.
Our little pal Eric. I really did love Eric. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was, everything about him fascinated me, and I don't think I was the only one. There's so many great. And I don't think Eric would have liked to have been called a whack packer, but there's so many great ones. And I think the fact that Eric had no respect for you whatsoever,
right,
is what I liked best about him. Because you sit there and talk to this tiny little guy in a wheelchair, and who lived with his parents and really didn't have a whole lot going on outside of watching wrestling and American Idol. And he would argue with you as if you were equals, and you would argue with him as if you were equals. And I mean, I guess you really were, because you both kind of took that position, and I just love that. I really do. I just
Jimmy,
love
I think
that.
you summed it up for me because, you're right. You think that a guy who had absolutely so little going on and really needed me for, trips to the Bunny Ranch or needed me for his fame fix, it didn't matter. What was so fascinating was he would just give me shit every single day and stand up to me.
But not only that, he'd give you advice.
But yeah.
That's what I love. He'd call you and give you advice.
And anybody else would have just, been begging me and kowtowing to me because I had this power to put him on the air. But it was precisely that he didn't give me shit that made him great.
I've been listening since the 90s, Howard, and he is, as he would say, the only normal caller that I would remember that fought so much with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of the other ones would fight so much with you.
Absolutely. Jimmy,
yes,
this really is devastating, isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, it really is terrible. I was trying to explain this to my parents yesterday, and they had no idea what I was talking about. But I really, yes. But I had a lot of affection for the guy, and I just can't. It's so sad that he's not gonna call in anymore. I mean, there were many times where he said he wouldn't call in anymore, and that was part of the fun. The longer it would go, when you knew he was going to finally break down and call in because he'd be offered a bit part on some show, and he'd have some reason that he'd have to break his vow and call, and that was always such added in the negotiations with the balloons. And
Jimmy, do you remember? I think the greatest moment was Eric had banned himself from the show. He said, "That's it. I'm never calling in again." And it had gone on for the longest time, like weeks, literally. We hadn't heard from Eric. And I remember sitting here on the air. I would be looking. How long did it last, Jan? 3 months?
3 months, I think.
3 months. So for 3 months, I hadn't heard from Eric, and I got really weirded out about it because, I loved Eric's phone calls, and I thought, wow, maybe he's for real this time. Maybe we really lost him. I don't know. This sucks. But, of course, if I begged him to come back on, it wouldn't have been any good because then it just wouldn't work. It has to be Eric wanting to come back on. So,
and he was listening, too. He was texting me through that whole time.
Yeah, and it was driving Eric crazy. So finally, one day, we get a call from a guy named Derek.
Right.
Derek from Texas.
Derek from Texas, who started calling in, and of course it was Eric. He could not disguise his voice. He put on a little bit of an accent. And
now that he's gone, we can reveal the secret.
Yeah, and I played along. I would just be Derek. Eric can never call in again, but you all talk to. And he's like, yeah, that's right.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. Derek, the actor, might have been my favorite of all time. And once in a while, he'd screw up and call himself Eric.
Right.
It was so
He'd lose
great.
the accent in the middle of the sentence.
Jimmy, what was your favorite Eric, the actor moment?
Turned out he had a lot in common with Derek. With Eric, the midget Derek from Texas.
Yeah, they were almost the same guy. They both wanted to be actors. They both wanted acting parts. It was great. What was your favorite remembrance of?
Well, for me, it was the balloons. I mean, that off year I became obsessed with the idea of flying Eric with balloons, and almost to the point where I think I was pestering you about it.
You were.
There was no price I was unwilling to pay to get to make that happen, and it still amazes me that after all the pressure that we put on him collectively, really to do something that wasn't such a big deal, but that he said no, and he just wouldn't do it, and
he would say no matter what they would offer.
Yeah, he really would.
But what was great about it was there was no way we were going to fly him with balloons. Like there was no way, but just telling Eric he was going to fly with balloons, because first of all, the idea of attaching balloons to a wheelchair and getting him up in the air in the studio, and then I really had this horrible panic that we fly Eric with balloons and he flew out our window up here. And
we never see him again.
He'd be on the 36th floor and he'd just be flying around for the rest of his life. I was more afraid of flying Eric with balloons than Eric was.
And I would call him off air and offer him things just to gauge, like, how against it he was. There was nothing you could offer this guy that would make him agree to that.
And when Jimmy says that he pestered me, I was not flying Eric with balloons ever. But Jimmy was serious about it. And he goes, no, we can do this. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. And literally, I'd say 2 or 3 emails a day for a while from Jimmy about flying Eric with balloons.
I studied it. I figured out how many balloons it would take, and that it was indeed possible. But well, you know what? I really admire him for not doing it. He had so much self-esteem for a person who, it's a lot of people who have everything don't have any self-esteem, and he really, he knew he was great.
Jimmy, he loved life. Jan, am I right? Eric, despite all of his pain, all of the predictions of his early death, all this stuff, he loved life. The way he embraced wrestling, and he embraced the show, and he loved it. I wish everyone had a love of life like Eric did.
Well, I'll say a couple things about Jimmy. The one thing, when it come up about when did he meet Jimmy the first time, the one thing he would bring up the most was the first time he realized Jimmy was really a fan and was really cool was the first time we went to the studio. We were about 6 blocks away, and he sent his cousin Mickey after us to give Eric a jersey from the Sacramento Kings, and Eric would bring that up a lot when he talked about Jimmy.
Yeah, Eric was grateful, believe it or not. Yes.
And then he, I guess you could say, used Jimmy. Jimmy, I don't know, you guys probably remember when I believe it was Jimmy that set up the visit with the ABC executive, and
Rob Mills.
Rob Mills.
Yeah, Jimmy was behind that.
That he would fly with balloons if he did that, and then when he got there, Robert Mills asked him, "When are you going to fly?" And he told Robert Mills, "No, I'm not going to fly."
He lied. Here's a remembrance. This is a little bit of Derek from Texas, Eric's alter ego.
Hey there, Mr. Frotto. I'm leaving this message for you to give to those stone people, because, I've really been thinking about it. I don't like them at all. They're a bunch of dumb fucks. They don't treat little people nicely.
That was
sound anything like it.
After months of not being on the air, this guy shows up, Derek from Texas, and I'm dealing with Derek from Texas.
They'll never know.
Jimmy, it's a sad day. It really is, and
it is.
But we're never going to hear the little guy call in again, and it just seems. And there was a whole new chapter starting. The new Eric the actor without Jan having to live with his parents. And
right, and we didn't know how that was going to play out.
Well, I heard that, and I did feel really bad for him when I heard that story. And I have to say, God bless Jan for taking care of him, because that is a big job, and I think that I wish there were more people like that. That's a pretty great thing.
Jimmy, I know that yes, Jan, and I said this earlier to Jan. I said there's nobody with a more loving heart for Jan to devote his life. Now Jan's got to go take care of his parents in the way he took care of Eric. I said this is a guy who gives like nobody I've ever seen. It's just fucking remarkable. Really remarkable.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. And, I think I'm thinking of one other Eric memory. when he wanted Johnny Fratto to murder the guy who was mean to him in high school.
Yeah, we played the tape. We played the tape. It's so great because Johnny goes, "This kid's a gangster." He gave him the order to hit him. That's it.
He knew what to do. He knew what to do.
He knew what to do.
You know what? I'm trying to remember, because Howard, you tried to stop talking to Eric at one time. You said that you would never take another phone call, and you broke down quickly.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding? I couldn't refuse calls from Eric.
Eric's self-ban lasted longer than any of the ones Howard banned him.
That's right.
Eric would ban himself. And I go, Eric, you can't ban yourself. You're punishing yourself. You love the air. He's going to do it. It never lasted.
But once you did it, and you didn't last any time at all.
No, you can't. You couldn't stay away from Eric. I'm telling you. Jimmy, you should fly with balloons to honor Eric, I think.
You know what? I think there should be, I'd like to see a sculpture built in the park of Eric attached to balloons, and it's something that we could really remember him by. I mean, we got to figure something out to memorialize.
honor him.
Well, you know, it's funny. Somebody on the internet I saw this morning painted a picture of Eric flying into heaven. Heaven's gates were open, and he was in balloons in his wheelchair. And I'm telling you, I almost lost it. I really did. It was so beautiful. This little cartoon of Eric flying to the pearly gates.
Yeah. I think if God demanded Eric fly with balloons into heaven, he would have told him to fuck off.
I know. You know, it's funny. You know, Eric, he's such an unusual guy, or was such an unusual guy, because I still can't help but thinking that a guy in a wheelchair and a guy as sick as he was, if there really is a God, I can imagine that Eric wouldn't wake up every day cursing out God for doing this to him. And Eric had none of that. Jan, did he ever complain about his condition? Did he ever sit there and
why me?
Because he was an excellent representative for people who are full-bodied, who are able-bodied, who really complain about everything. He didn't seem to complain about his lot in life.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, remember also he's the only one with a condition in his family.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else
was fine.
Able-bodied and tall and everything.
The recipe's there for him to be super bitter.
Wouldn't it be great, Jimmy, if Eric got 70 naked Carrie Underwoods in heaven? Like that was...
Oh, yeah, Diana DeGarmo.
Oh, Diana DeGarmo. Oh, if Eric could have just had one night with Diana DeGarmo.
Let me tell you something.
What was great was Eric got her mother's phone number, and he used to call her.
She had to change her phone number. He used to call. I'd say, Eric, you're calling too much. He goes, no. I go, did you call yesterday? Yes. How many times did you call? Like 5. He goes, no, 4. And the mother finally gave up, changed her number. It was fucking great.
The thing he loved more than the show, more than anything else, was giant boobs. So when we would be on the road and he would do shows with us, I would ask for volunteers to come up to let him motorboat. Let Eric motorboat him. And this is what a guy he was. I go, I threw this idea out one night. I said, what about dressing you up like Superman? And we literally hold you up and fly you into the breast. And he looked at me and he goes, no Superman, but you could fly me into the breast. And so literally Jan was on stage holding him. And I mean, the shots of his face sliding into breasts one after, and I mean, 10 chicks lined up.
He loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
With him? What?
That was the last 2 shows he ever did.
Yeah.
Wow. What was his thing about costumes? Because that was always a big deal. You could never, once
please.
Johnny had a job for him to be in a bumblebee costume or something, and Eric refused.
Eric had his dignity, like Jimmy said.
Not some clown.
Fucking footed, you moron.
Oh, my God. When Eric would get upset about Club Fucking Footed, that was another... I didn't even play that clip, and there's so many clips you could play, but this one is the best. By the way, I saw a picture of Eric. His foot is completely turned around.
He had an operation.
Yeah, he has sneakers on, and his foot is completely reversed.
Wow.
He's got so many problems. Eric, what's going on with your foot? Are you okay with your foot?
I'm double fucking jointed. There's nothing
There ain't no
wrong with my foot.
double jointed. That's quadruple jointed.
Part of my disability, you jackass.
All right, but that's why I'm asking.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's been that way.
All right, I was worried about you. Am I wrong to be worried about you?
I'm club fucking footed, you ass wipe.
I didn't know what you were. I said there might be something wrong. love when he called me an asswipe.
But it was great how Eric would say there's nothing wrong. Everything was wrong.
Right.
This is one of the things I really love about the show, because I think almost everyone else, and really everyone else, if you have somebody who's handicapped or has something that's uncomfortable to talk about, you just won't talk about it, and you'll just be nice to that person. You won't speak to them like a human being. You just kind of let them go about their lives and not give them any attention. But that's like when people know each other, people are friends. They do talk about these things specifically, and to get that kind of stuff out in the open on the show is rare, and one of the things that I really love. And sometimes people are like, oh, we're making fun of Eric. It's like, yeah, of course, making fun of Eric. Everybody makes fun of everyone on the show. He's treated like anybody else on the show. And,
yeah.
Well, that was one of the things that I was most
He said plenty of times, and I'm pretty, that the show and Howard has the right to make fun of him, but no fans have the right to make fun of him.
Well, he certainly fought that.
Well, you know what, Jimmy and Jan, that I woke up this morning, Bob Lefsetz, who writes this column that I really like, he wrote a whole column on Eric the actor, and it was really touching. And he was talking about this point, that you learned more about Eric's, bathroom habits. Eric was very open, and Jimmy makes the point, too, that handicapped people, you really, they're sort of like untouchables. You don't know what's going on with them.
Everybody's afraid to do anything.
And Eric would really say, "Here, I jerk off, I roll onto the bed, I do that." Eric had a lot of pride, but also he was willing to talk about just how difficult his life was. Like he said, my last conversation with him, he was like, "Yeah, I bathe myself, but Jan has to help me with this and that." In fact, my last conversation was about you, Jan, because he was so upset that his parents were now going to be taking care of him.
Can I please say this last thing?
Okay.
It's Jan's last week of being here. He's going to leave on the 21st or 22nd.
Who's going to take care of you?
Who's going to help you? Yeah.
My parents.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow. We'll probably never hear from you again then.
What do you mean, your parents?
Oh, no. I'll still call in.
Doesn't Jan bathe you and drive you and do everything?
The driving part, yes.
Oh, he doesn't bathe you?
No, I pretty much handle that myself.
Oh, okay.
Well, where's Jan going?
Yeah, why is he leaving?
He's got to do what he does for me for his parents in Arkansas.
Jan is a good dude. All right. Well, anyway, Jimmy, I like that you called in because I knew how big a fan you were of.
Yeah.
Can I ask you?
Well, thank you for bringing Eric to us, and Jan, thanks for taking care of him. And I guess I'm going to go fuck my pillow now and in tribute to Eric.
That's the best tribute you could give, Jimmy, if you just would lay down on your bed. Instead of jerking off on your back, jerk off on your stomach.
I'm going.
That would be the way. What is it?
I was going to ask you and Jimmy, did either of you cry at any point this weekend when thinking about Eric?
Did I
cry? I didn't cry, but I got really, really sad.
Me too. I had weird feelings of going from, well, first of all, I didn't necessarily believe it because I thought it might be some kind of a publicity stunt, and I was hoping that was the case. I was searching the internet. Some guy posted that Eric had favorited a tweet the night before, and I thought, oh, well, if he did that, he has to be alive.
Tweet, by the way, too.
Yeah, I didn't believe. By the way, I didn't believe that he had died at first, and I know Jimmy was looking for information. And I said, I don't know, this could be an elaborate hoax that Eric set up, just to,
I hope it still is. I really do.
Yeah, Jan, if you told us it was a hoax, we'd be happy.
Jimmy,
yes,
that was me on Saturday night. We announced it yesterday, but on Saturday night, where there was no fake ones about it, I went on his page and favorited some stuff. Because we were trying to keep it from off the internet till I told Howard.
Okay.
So that's because as soon as Eric had no activity on Twitter for 30 minutes, he was dead.
Wow. Well, all right, Jimmy. Young.
On the Facebook page for the one of his fans page on Facebook, he's sitting in front of
Jan, first of all, I want to thank you for calling in and telling us about Eric's final moments.
Let me tell you one more thing. Johnny will probably call in and talk about this too. If you pull up real quick, one thing that's kind of, I guess you could say, eerie, Johnny's elevator. There's angels on Johnny's elevator sitting above his head in the picture.
Do I have that picture?
Johnny has angels on his elevator?
Yeah. Pull up, and his initials. Pull up Eric's main Facebook page.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out. That's kind of eerie. All right, Jan, listen, I know how painful this is for you. You were closest to Eric, and you took such good care of him, and I got to tell you something. If there is a heaven, you're going to it, Jan. Be sure of that. You're a good man. Jimmy Kimmel, you're a good man, too. You have a TV show, I understand. It's on at 11:30 at night. Everybody should tune in
You've
tonight.
heard of this?
I really only called in for a plug. But
That's all Jimmy wants. Jimmy, by the way, will be flying with balloons on the Jimmy Kimmel show tonight in honor of Eric. He's going to actually fly out and deliver the entire monologue as he is floating into the sky.
There's another whackpacker that wants to go on Jimmy's show. You know about this?
Who is this?
Underdog.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Jimmy, you've been following that?
there are no other whack packers as far as I'm concerned.
Today, you're right.
You're right. That's the perfect tribute. All right, Jimmy, Jan, thank you. I'm going to go take a commercial break. We've been talking about Eric for an hour, 14 minutes, and I suspect we'll be talking about him a lot more because I see our phones are filled with people who want to speak about him. Jan, thank you for reflecting with us. Jimmy Kimmel, Eric's #1 fan, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys. There they go. Jan, who is...
I can't believe Jimmy didn't cry. Jimmy cries over everything.
Jimmy cried over John Ritter. I would think if anyone was going to cry on the air about Eric, would be
Eric.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Is anyone willing to cry on the air about Eric?
I thought I would. I lost a little bit on Saturday.
Marianne, are you crying?
Yes, I was, Howard. I cried all night and all morning, and little Mikey wrote a song that if it doesn't make you get down on your knees and cry, but my cry turned to anger, Robin. I mean, how do you not know that it was trending on Twitter that Eric died?
I don't follow all of this stuff. I'm not living the life of a social media person. Sorry.
It's not a day to argue, but Howard, you gave him so much joy. In fact, I would be afraid to say, anything like Eric did to you, and you know that, and he said it to you, and, that was what we loved about him. He spoke the truth. Jan took such good care of him, and I just don't believe it. It's like,
All right, Marianne, thank you.
It's so sad, Howard. Howard, we know how much you really loved him and how much
do.
he meant to you. Robin, I don't know. It's going to trend. Robin doesn't know what's going on in the news.
All right, Marianne.
You're right, I don't.
It always comes back to Robin.
Robin, get my number. You can call me. I'll give you all information if you need it.
Robin, you're disgraceful. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
How dare Robin not know about Eric the actor?
For the record, Robin cried at VegFest when she was stuck there.
Oh, stop.
I'd cry if I was at VegFest.
Yeah, me too, like a baby.
Yeah, I don't even want to ask Robin about VegFest. That's how crazy.
There'd be one exciting thing at VegFest.
I got the confirmation that Eric was dead, and it's weird. I went and jerked off.
What?
People mourn in different ways.
That's how I deal with grief. Yeah, I went on YouTube and watched and I said, I'm upset right now. This is horrible, but I feel like jerking off. And I wasn't going to deny myself jerking off because that's our right as American citizens.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I watched this was great, a fake agent where this girl, really hot blonde, is running an agency and a guy comes in and she seduces him because she convinces him to be important.
The dialogue's the best part of those.
The best. My God. And the guy's like, I don't know. I don't want to get into and then she goes, come on. And then she sits down next to him, starts rubbing his cock, and he's like, all right, I'll get into and it's so great. And I came right when she was blowing him, so I didn't even get to see the ending.
I like when they go, look, they just have to see on video that I can fuck you in the ass, and then you'll get the job.
And big money.
Right.
But
it's always big money, huh?
No, I was laying in bed last night. I'm watching TV. I couldn't get to sleep, and I realized it was because of Eric. Like, I was just, kind of upset that Eric was gone, and it really hit me hard when I laid down. I was watching Ray Donovan, which is such a great show. Oh, my God.
I know. That show is so crazy.
Oh, my God. I love that show so much. Ray Donovan. And
see our boy Jay Thomas on there?
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, Jay was great. And it was just like... then it just I turned off the TV and I realized why I couldn't sleep. I was like, oh, fucking Eric, he's gone. It really hit me hard. I mean, everyone's dropping like flies and I hate being left. I'm so mad at Eric for leaving. They should have.
You know what? There were many times, Eric gave us a little scare not too long ago saying he might have to go into the hospital, and we were so worried. And, when he said no, that wasn't, necessary, they were going to give him another 6 months before they evaluated the situation again. We thought we had more time.
Yeah.
He used to fight with a lot is Jeff the Drunk. And Jeff and him, there was a great, we use it for a bumper, but inside the actor's studio, when they go back and forth and answer the same 10 questions,
great.
And they get at it,
Eric was upset because Johnny Fratto was starting to represent Jeff the Drunk because Jeff was willing to take gay roles and Eric wasn't.
But that's the other thing. Literally 2 weeks ago, I'm having this argument with him where he's like, I want the homophobic stuff to stop.
What does this mean? On Twitter right now, bye for now is number 2. What do they mean, number 2?
The hashtag bye for now is trending. It's number 2 on Twitter right now.
Bye for now. Oh, that was Eric's favorite phrase, bye for now. And Eric resisted bye for now. That was his catchphrase, and it was really catching on, actually. It was really impressive.
Yeah, as soon as we started to notice it, he stopped doing it.
Yeah, we loved it. And then, as soon as as Robin says, as soon as I like bye for now, then Eric wouldn't do bye for now. It was always bye for now. What was that?
He just went bye. He couldn't even do his catchphrase.
Where's your catchphrase?
Not gonna do it.
Oh, he's holding out the catchphrase
You
now.
dropped your catchphrase?
Yep.
Why?
Are people teasing you about that, too?
Yeah, they're using that in our messages.
Bye for now. Don't drop your catchphrase.
You stick with it.
Now say your catchphrase.
All right, bye for now.
You're the reporter I called? Crap, don't let the bunnies out.
The Actors Studio is proud to welcome
Eric the Actor.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
What you did in that film was remarkable for so many reasons.
Yeah, I guess from watching that.
What's your favorite word?
Bullshit.
What's your least favorite word?
Ack.
What turned you on?
I've been a Jeff Hardy fan for quite a while.
My name's Kevin Stevens, and I'm an actor here.
Get the fuck away from me, you idiot. He comes anywhere near me, I'll break his wrist. Stay the fuck away from me. Just back the fuck off me, or else you will fucking regret it.
To Broadway, Eric the Actor's tweets, the opera. I do not shit myself. I do not shit on myself. I've never once crapped myself when I was at the A's game. Go fuck yourself and go to hell, you fucking dipshit. Combining opera's most beloved arias with Eric's majestic poetry. I am not gay. I have never fucked you in my life. Experience the passion. You don't fuck. I do not have cum on my glasses. The excitement. I am not a bug-eyed toad. Go fuck yourself, you pathetic, motherfucking dumb fuck dipshit. The fury. I am not fucking bipolar. I do not have a fucking lazy eye. Go fuck yourself. For tickets, use the hashtag ACAC.
All right, a couple of memories of Eric. We've spent an hour and a half on Eric, and I would gladly spend another hour and a half because he deserves it. Yes, Johnny Frotto.
You know, the impact will really hit me when, after a while, I realize we're never going to hear an Eric call. It'll never pop up again where we say, well, Eric the actor's on the phone.
Johnny Frotto, you're on with Jan. Yes.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. And, you know, it's a weird, because of the way he acted, you know, it almost, I mean, we should have all kind of been prepared for this, but we weren't. Because he acted like he was bulletproof, you know?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I knew he was ill, and I knew that he wouldn't last long, and he had defied all of the doctor's predictions. But at the same point, I always thought that Eric would just beat the odds and live forever.
Yeah, but you know what, Howard, you were the medicine. Howard Stern show was the medicine, and I believe that you guys extended his life. And obviously, I mean, no question, no one could argue that you gave him a great life. You gave him a better life, really, than a lot of people that aren't afflicted.
People used to say to me, are you making fun of Eric? I go, no. I said, I treat Eric like everyone else. I do not want to treat him differently. And I think Eric liked that. I think Eric liked mixing it up.
But you provided a lot of things for him to do, and those were the things that he loved, and that's what kept him alive. But the reality is, and when I laughed, you know, because he would be always after one of you, and it would be Robin, or it would be you, or it would be Fred with the noises, or Gary, you know, or Will.
Gary, yeah.
Something wrong on the phone. And, you know, he would call me, and he would always, you know, he was always going to get even, or he was always going to beat you.
Yeah,
I mean, I think this is why I stuck around, because, you know, here's a kid that, like you said earlier, I mean, he can't walk, he can't use his hands, he can't make a sandwich, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Or use the restroom, or take a bath. But here he is with confidence that it doesn't even, where did it come from? Where did all that confidence come from? Where did the courage come from, you know?
So you stuck around with Eric because you stuck around with Eric because I think you genuinely liked him. I think you were fascinated by him.
Howard, I wanted to hate him so badly.
Right.
I really, truly did, and I ended up loving the fucking kid.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, me too. I love when he told you
he was entitled. He was entitled from, you know, if you want to believe in. I think this fucker was some kind of an evil ruler in another time. And they said, going back to Earth, and this is what you're going to be, because the body didn't fit the brain.
Right.
What was going on in the brain didn't fit in the body. I mean, you know,
there's so much, you know,
me and John for Glock.
There's so much suffering going on in the world, and this is a guy who really, no matter how much he was suffering, you're right, he was like Genghis Khan. I mean, he was going to conquer the world.
He never, he did not care, and he didn't care, and he didn't see himself as handicapped. So when he saw girls, we'd be pushing him down the street, and he would immediately say, "Wheel me up to that girl," and he would do his best.
I really love that. Johnny, I do want to say, before I run out of time, Johnny, I do want to say this to you, and Jan is numero uno, and you're numero two, because you really, it was so great that you acted as his manager, and you took his calls, and you treated him seriously, and you would make arrangements for him. I mean, it was a major pain in the ass in Johnny's life. You know, Johnny's got a family, and he runs a business and all that. And to sit there and take incessant, one phone call after another, over and over and over again from little Eric.
Oh, Howard, you had no idea. I mean, hundreds, really sometimes 40, 50 calls a day.
Wow.
And any time of the day or night, he didn't care that Johnny had a life, a business.
Any time of the day or night, and then he would do like time limits on everything. Like, in other words, like he wanted to get late, and he knew he couldn't go to the bunny ranch, and I didn't know that. I heard it on your show, but then he talked about the altitude, but I heard that first, and I'm thinking, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, now it's like, I have to find sea level to get you fucking, you know.
Yeah, it's not hard enough.
It was always like some impossible thing, and then he would put a time on it. Like, you got 2 hours to do this, or you got 3 hours to do this.
Hey, he knew he was running out of time, so he had to definitely put a time limit on it. That's it. Johnny, thank you. Yeah, Johnny, thank you, and Jan, thank you if you're on the line there. And guys, Johnny, I thought it was great the way you had interaction with Eric, and I know you are heartbroken. I know he was you considered him family. I know that.
I loved him.
I know.
And the guy on the phone here, this Jan.
Yeah.
That's a man's man. That's a man's man, Howard. The way he took care of this kid.
Right.
That I never see nobody care so much.
Well,
ever.
You're absolutely right. That's
no one will ever do that for me, I promise you.
I feel that about Jan, and I feel Eric was a bit heartbroken because he loved Jan so much. And I got to tell you, Jan, you're a stand-up dude, and I really mean that, and I think the world of you. And Johnny, same. And now maybe you can finally pay attention to your kids now that Eric is gone. If anything good comes out of this, Johnny will now pay attention to his kids because he was more wrapped up in Eric's life than his own children.
Oh, the other thing, I don't know if you guys could tell when he called into the show, the other thing he was super stressed and worried about was the surgery. He was pretty sure it was going to happen in November, and nobody knew what the outcome of that would be.
Maybe if they'd done that surgery, maybe he could have lived a little longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Howard, I don't think he would have ever made it to it.
No, because he was so sick.
He was way too frail. I think he was way too frail.
Yeah. All right, Jan, let us know how you're doing from time to time. Johnny, of course, we'll hear from you. And thanks, guys. And I'm so sorry that Eric's gone. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you again.
Bye. Well, there they are. The two guys closest to Eric, Jan and Johnny Frado, who was his longtime manager, believe it or not. You know.
Some of those negotiations were priceless as well, that Johnny would have to go through for Eric's various activities.
I should have asked Jan. I mean, who's going to clean out Eric's stuff? You know, like what happens to Eric's chair? What happens to Eric's memorabilia? All his little, his A's, his beloved A's, the hats.
Yeah, and I think he collected a lot of autographs and all of that stuff.
Like, what are they doing with all that? I wonder if Jan's a part of that.
Well, he said he was staying there a week longer. He's probably helping.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder what the WWE is feeling. You know, they've lost one of their biggest supporters.
Eric Lynch, Eric the actor. Some knew him as Eric the midget. He didn't like that, so we changed it to Eric the actor. But he complained, and he was great. He was no bigger than 4 feet tall, but boy, oh boy, did he have a big presence on this show. And he didn't have the looks, he didn't have the strong body, but he had a mind on his shoulders that I think people will never forget. And he really did teach us a lot.
I love that Johnny said he'd have them roll him right up to any beautiful woman he saw, and he'd take his shot.
That's right. He tried to find things in life that mattered to him and go after them, and Eric lived life. You know, most of us wouldn't have the balls to ask for a free pass to a whorehouse, but Eric did. And maybe that was the secret to life. Who knows?
Look, who demands to be on TV shows and then gets his way?
Always got his way. You know, Eric needed a lot of help. He really did. He needed my help getting acting jobs. He needed help from the government getting oxygen and medical supplies. He needed Jan, of course. He needed Johnny. He needed his parents. He needed free stuff from Amazon. But, he had a wish list for some of the most ridiculous shit that you've ever seen. He wanted, on his wish list, for real, the big book of boobs, an Eric Chavez action figure from the Oakland A's. He wanted a case. That's 24 bottles of Dr. Brown's cream soda. He wanted every flavor and size of Gatorade that you can imagine. He wanted pellet pistols, blank guns.
Pellet. That's right. He loved guns.
What's a Little Debbie zebra cake? He wanted that, too. I don't even know that.
It's a brand of cake. Little Debbie's is a brand.
He even wanted batting gloves, and I don't know why. He was in a wheelchair. I don't get it.
He's going on the batting cage.
Yeah. And even more bizarrely, he wanted the Sony headphones, the Simon Cowell edition Sony headphones.
The Simon Cowell edition.
Yeah. Some knew him as Eric this, Eric that. We'll know him as Eric the Angel now. We're going to change his name. Eric the Little Belligerent Angel.
Well, now we're getting quite a few representatives up there from our whack pack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've lost quite a few people.
Would you say that Eric, Gary and I were just talking about it, would you say that Eric was Hank the Angry Dwarf a bigger impact on the show, or Eric?
Oh, wow.
That's a tough one.
That's a good question.
I said possibly Eric. I mean, Hank, was right up there.
Hank was amazing.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I think I'm calling that even.
Right. Well, I want to thank Kelly Clarkson this morning because she's the reason I found Eric.
Yes.
Eric
Thank
was
goodness
in love
you
with
called her fat.
That's right. If I hadn't called her fat,
we'd have never met Eric.
The ball never would have started. The ball never would have started rolling. He was 85 pounds. And I think anywhere between 3 and 3.5 feet tall. I never really figured it out. But you can't judge a book by its cover. Because too often in life, we pass by little guys like that in wheelchairs, or we give them a tap on the head or something, treating them like they're 3 years old. And Eric didn't want any of that. He had a rich life, and it was filled with bitterness and triumph and agony and all that kind of stuff. And through his own little devices, Jimmy Kimmel became friends with him, and Natalie Maines adored him, and Hollywood producers and directors put him in TV shows, and his obituaries even in Variety magazine and Us magazine.
Yeah. Zac Efron called him out for the Ice Bucket Challenge. Look at that.
And like Joan Rivers, even though, when Joan Rivers died, it was a shock to us. Even though we knew, she was 81 years old, how much longer could she live? And like with Eric, you knew he wasn't going to live forever, but it still comes as a shock that he's dead.
Yeah.
It really
and it's
does.
just like Johnny Fratto said, it was because he always fought back with such a vengeance. He never seemed or sounded frail. He didn't feel frail. And so we always believed he'd be around.
God, he loved wrestling. I don't think there was much left on his bucket list. He did get out and do a lot of stuff. We even got him late.
He went to the matches. He met the wrestlers. And he did. He got laid. He had never had that experience before encountering this show.
That's right. I also loved how delusional he was. We were having Jonah Hill on the show, and he actually sent us a direct message that was, I know Jonah Hill's coming on, and that he's a fan of mine. If he wants to talk, please call me. That was a message from Eric about Jonah Hill. I don't know that Jonah Hill ever called, though. Who knows?
I don't know, but Jonah did remember him.
Yep. And I guess Eric's last acting job is Brickleberry. Brickleberry. He's on the cartoon.
Oh, yes. And you know what? Last week, wasn't Yucko calling to say they might cut Eric out of the show?
Yes. I got annoyed with Yuck over that. I said, you knew what Eric sounded like. Don't cut him out. What, it shocks you that Eric speaks the way he does?
It sounds terrible.
Come on.
You know what we didn't play? Remember those times we would have an American Idol contestant that he was a fan of call him and try sex talking with him?
Oh, man, there's so many things I could have played. I played a bunch of stuff this morning, but, I could play you 3,000 tapes, 3,000 hours. Well, as the days and weeks go by,
we will remember
Eric. But my favorite story was Eric and the werewolves in New Mexico, so that's, we all have our own favorite moments. Let me see if there's anything else. There was a bunch of fans on the phone. I'll get to them as much as I possibly can. I do have to take another break, though, first. There's other things on people's minds besides Eric the actor. We'll try to get to those as well. But, Wolfie, I see you've been on the phone all morning. What do you want to say about Eric the actor?
Hey, Howard. I just wanted to say I'm really bummed. Eric was just a really good dude. I was actually talking to him a lot over the past 2 months over the telephone, and just the kind of stuff that he would share. He had a big heart, and I know he was really mad about Gary and denying that Eric contributed to ALS, but Eric even told me about other charities that he gave to. So he really was a good guy.
Right. All right, Wolfie. Thank you.
Yeah. He he gave me some facts about just his general routine, and I was always curious if you'd be interested to know about some of that stuff that he did on a daily basis.
Sure, go ahead.
How many times per day do you think Eric brushed his teeth?
I'm going to say he probably wasn't that fastidious. I'm going to say 3 times a day.
Now, 1 time per day.
That's it.
Yep, he said he was just really bad about remembering that thing.
He would do it in the morning?
He didn't say when, because he only woke up around noon every day, so I would guess it would be later on in the afternoon.
How did that come up in conversation? You just asked him?
Yeah, I was talking to him for a while, and then he would just start saying stuff, and I'm like, man, I got to document this and remember it, so I would just kind of write down interesting things. Like, what do you think Eric's greatest fear in life was?
Drowning.
No, venomous snakes.
Not werewolves?
No, not werewolves. And that always cracked me up, because when would Eric ever encounter a venomous snake?
Well, maybe when he went to New Mexico to tape In Plain Sight.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was his fear.
Yeah, he's just a fascinating guy. The stuff that he would come up with would always...
Yeah, give me more. This is good, Wolfie.
Okay, if Eric could have any career of an actor, which actor would he want?
Johnny Depp.
Not even close.
Let me think. Jack Nicholson.
No, it'd be The Rock.
Think about the things that Eric is into, though, and that'll help you.
What about Robin says The Rock? Maybe that's it.
Nope.
Who is it?
Matthew Perry.
Oh, my God, from
Matthew
Friends?
Perry?
And the reason was he was in a movie called The Whole 9 Yards, where he stood in a room with Amanda Peet when she was naked. So he got to see that. That's why Eric would want his career.
You know, that's the kind of thinking that I loved about Eric. Like, he didn't think about the roles of a lifetime or anything. He thought about, like, standing in a room naked with Amanda Peet.
Yeah, he was a guy's guy. He really was.
Yeah. What else you got there? Anything else?
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. What was Eric's favorite fast food restaurant?
I'm going to say Wendy's. I got to get one of these right.
Taco Bell.
It's a place you guys used to love.
Oh, Roy Rogers?
Roy Rogers?
Oh, actually, no, sorry. It was Arby's. Arby's was his favorite.
Yeah, we didn't love Arby's.
No, we didn't. No, Arby's wasn't our thing.
What did he get? What did he get? The roast beef sandwich?
He liked the hot ham and Swiss, the chicken bacon and Swiss, the chicken cordon bleu, the curly fries, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and chicken strips.
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't he, at one point, wasn't he following on Twitter some of the fast food restaurants like McDonald's?
Yeah, I believe he was, yeah.
And, a part of, Cinnabon he followed. But what it's funny, you'd think Eric would have been a little bit more of a healthy eater, but I guess he didn't give a shit.
How many times per week did he eat fast food?
He wasn't in actual good shape for a little guy 3 foot tall. I mean, he wasn't fat. How many times a week did he eat fast food? This has got to be a big number.
He told me on average.
7 times.
3 times.
Yeah, I bet you it was 7.
But what did he eat otherwise? Did Jan cook?
I know what his favorite snack food was.
I'm going to say, Pringles?
You got it right.
You're kidding. I knew that.
How did you know that?
From his Amazon wish list.
Yeah, that was his favorite snack food.
No wonder Eric had stomach problems. Eating all that shit.
Yeah, Jan was talking about how he had stomach problems. Listen to what he ate.
Yeah, if I was taking care of Eric, I'd just be like, well, Eric, why don't you fucking stop eating all that shit?
What was his favorite food overall?
I'm going to say some Italian dish, either pizza or spaghetti.
Nope, bacon.
Oh, wow.
He did not hesitate. He loved bacon.
I was thinking as you're talking, as bad as Eric's diet was, I'm realizing now JD would probably drop 20 pounds if he ate as well as Eric. Because I watched what JD eats, and it's fucking unbelievable.
Oh.
Yeah, but those I could go on, but those are a few of the good ones. And the other thing that he told me that when he was in high school, it just kind of shows you the kind of guy he was, that he was the highest earner in this charity competition that they have. And the thing that cracked me up, the competition was called a mathalon. So whoever answered the most math questions correctly got the most money for charity, and Eric won that.
That can't be true.
That's what I could not believe that he could. I don't know how he.
Either that or all the kids in his school were morons.
What, did they get the test beforehand and it was open book or something?
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he was an amazing guy, and you treated him really well. I know he liked you. He didn't like Gary very much, but he did like you.
Yeah, Gary was his enemy. Did you? You know, it's interesting. What do you have, a file on everybody? I mean, because you're like a creepy stalker, Wolfie.
No, this was like I said. I only started talking to him maybe 2 months ago, and just as he was saying stuff, it was just fascinating.
Did you?
How did you wind up talking to him?
But you take notes, right? And then you.
I took notes on that, but I felt guilty about it. Like I never called in with it,
right?
Because I didn't want to. I felt like that was kind of betraying his trust. I didn't want to do that, but yeah. But now.
Why were you talking to him?
Just I hooked up with him from another guy from the show. He gave me his contact information, and we started talking.
Wolfie has a full-time job, which is unbelievable because you know he's got so much time.
Well, okay, Howard, the only time you could talk to Eric would want me to call him at midnight my time.
Right.
because that's, outside of his nap or TV schedule. So, yeah, late at night, every now and then I'd give him a call.
He didn't DVR? He would just, watch TV in real time?
I guess not. I don't know to that level, but that's what he said. He would always say, yeah, give me a call at midnight.
What facts do you have on speech impediment, man? Do you have any?
Nah, I don't know him.
Okay, all right. Well, try to find out.
He'll be calling you later with his contact information.
All right, Wolfie, thank you for remembering Eric.
Yeah, good guy. Thanks, Howard.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye for now. That's how we should end. Bye for now. Using Eric's catchphrase.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, Whack Packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, my guest today is the longest tenured staff member of the entire Howard Stern Show, aside from Howard himself. He is also an accomplished musician. He's responsible for all of the sound drops that we hear on the show. And he's the one guy no one wants to get in a confrontation with or challenge in a test of knowledge and memory. He's responsible for a lot of memorable moments on the show, one being a bachelor party that nearly killed him, a name change that he didn't tell anyone about for years, refusal to recognize Carol Alt as a supermodel.
Stand by.
I will get to this in 1 second. A dial-a-date in which he met his lovely wife, and of course, one of the most hysterical Gary impressions of all time. If you have ever thought about buying your mom a cookie puss on Mother's Day, then you really should thank the motorcycle-riding, mysterious man from Mars, Mr. Fred Norris. Hello, Fred.
Nice to see you. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We had just an overwhelming number of questions for you. People have a lot to ask, so I'm going to jump right in with a first question here.
Please do.
From LED. She wants to know, what the heck is the deal with the name change?
Could you be more specific?
I can tell you that we got really more questions about their name change than probably anything else for you.
So this is actually a moment where I can maybe explain myself a little bit better than what I would normally explain. It's not going to be any clearer to you once I give you this explanation. We should probably just fast forward through this whole thing right now. Here's the deal. I was born with a name that I absolutely hated. But, it was just a name, so everybody gets stuck with that. But as I got older and more cantankerous or whatever, I'm going why am I stuck with this name? I could change that, Number one, my surname at the time, which was Nukas, belonged to my biological father, who decided to cut on us when I was 5 years old, and basically left us destitute. At the time, we probably could have been on welfare, but my mom was too proud to get on that. See, she was cleaning people's houses for a living, whatever. And I was a latchkey kid. I'm giving you much more information than you absolutely need. Needless to say, I didn't have a whole lot of love for my father. My mom got remarried later on, and his name was Norris. And he was great to me and great to my brother and really raised us correctly. The middle name, which was Leo, which I guess is hip now because of Leonardo DiCaprio, I didn't like that name either because it had no hipness back then. And it was also the name that was given to me by my godmother, who was the woman who ran off with my biological father. Do we get the picture now? Okay. And Fred, of course, I just think it's a clunky name. And I just asked my mom one day, I said, Mom, why did you name me Fred? Well, you were named after your grandfather, whose name was Fritz. Well, I guess that's, I dodged a bullet with that, but Fred's not much better than Fritz. And I says, well, were there any other names on the table? And she said, yes, Eric. And I go, well, why didn't you name me Eric? And she said, because that was the name of an old boyfriend, and your father was jealous, which I found very ironic. So, there you go. I think I've explained the first name, which should have been my first name, which was Eric. The middle name, which I kept basically because, well, whatever. Not everybody's going to buy into the whole Eric thing. And the last name, Norris, which is a tribute to my late stepfather. So I don't know if that answers your question. It probably creates more questions than answers, but there you go, LD.
One follow-up on that is, why, if you go through the trouble of changing it, why then continue to go by Fred?
Because that's how everybody knows me.
Okay.
It's like all of a sudden, like one day, Robin tried to go on the air. I wish to be known as Robin Ophelia Quivers. No one bought into that.
Okay.
So I just know that you just can't do things like that and expect that there's going to be backlash.
So you enjoy Eric in your private life?
Yeah, but nobody calls me Eric. There you go. I don't know. It was foolish.
Fair enough. Next question's from Ryan R. Ryan asks, I'd like to know how you managed to keep your family off the air in private. Did you have a talk with Howard?
No, I did not have a talk with Howard. It just organically is one of those things that I don't really bring up unless, of course, it's just, average, regular conversations. I mean, look, Howard has kids. He didn't always trot them out for the world to see. Gary has kids. He may mention them from time to time, but it's one of those things that I think Howard understands. That family is special and family should be kept separate. It's kind of like the mob. It's like you keep your family out of it. Nobody gets attacked when it comes to your family and stuff like that. As for me, I'm fair game.
Question from Adam J. Adam asks, will we ever hear or see King Norris live on the show?
I don't believe you'll see King Norris live on this show. We have done some things where we play out. There was a thing on Fuse TV. You can go on YouTube and look for this. If you really want to see King Norris play, that's where you can see an appearance. It was a memorable night. I think we did it live. And I think you your pants as you're doing it, but it was a lot of fun, I gotta tell you. And who knows, maybe you'll see me doing music somewhere. I just don't know where yet. Maybe in the subway, maybe on the web, I don't know. But I've got some songs kicking around that I kind of want to share with the world. It's not necessarily King Norris music, so we'll figure it out. I'll get it to you somehow, if you're interested.
We're all interested. Question from Marlon M. Marlon asks, as the only true musician on the show, what is the one musical guest performance in studio that has wowed you the most, and who disappointed you the most?
I can give you the disappointment first.
Okay.
Because it blew me away. I have been a fan of ZZ Top and Billy Gibbons since way, way back. I mean, I bought every piece of crap record when they weren't so good, and I bought the good ones, and I liked them all equally. I think Billy Gibbons has a guitar sound like no other. Jimi Hendrix agreed with me. He went on the Tonight Show and said he thought that Billy Gibbons was like, the world's greatest guitarist, and next to him or whatever, or just in general. So imagine my delight when one day Gary says, hey, guess who's coming on the show? Billy Gibbons. I'm like, that's great. He's like, that guy's got tone up the wazoo. He knows how to play. He's just so cool. I bought the Guayo. I mean, Tejas. If you have the album Tejas, listen to Tejas. I consider that a boogie band's version of Dark Side of the Moon. Just Asleep in the Desert. Anyways, I'm digressing here. Anyway, he comes on the show with this cigar box guitar and does these, for lack of a better expression, versions of ZZ Top songs. And I'm like, we get ZZ Top? And this is it? This is what I'm going to see? I know he's better than this. I know they're a great band. So why are we getting like the treatment? I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional. I know Billy is very artistic. I mean, apparently he's not the guy that you think he is with the whole beard. He's not like a mountain man. He's very sophisticated. I think he has an art museum like in Austin or Dallas or wherever they're from. So he's very sharp. He's very intelligent. So maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was trying to enlighten us, educate us. I just wanted ZZ Top songs, man. Play them.
Yeah.
As for the greatest, far too many. Oh, I got it. Stevie Wonder.
Really?
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, who is basically should be on the Mount Rushmore of pop musicians anywhere. He comes into the studio with his little keyboard. I think he was a fan of the show, which even blew me away more.
Yeah.
Because I grew up as a little kid listening to Stevie Wonder on the radio going like, man, this guy's blind. He writes all these amazing songs. He plays most of the instruments himself. He's just a terrific songwriter. There's nobody like him, ever, anywhere. He's like in his 60s, and he still has a great voice. He comes in on the show, and he goes, oh, I hope you don't mind, but and my throat's a little bad this morning, and and he was apologizing. And he comes in, and he just sings song after song, just like you're listening to the record. And it just blew me away. I've never seen anything like that. He is music. It's like if you look under music in the dictionary, it's Stevie Wonder, the most musical man on the planet, bar none.
Next question from Michael J. Michael asks, F, marry, kill. Beth, Mary Delabate, Elisa Jordana. Explain why.
I'm not touching that one.
Well, you can have to.
No,
you can't flake out of an F, marry, kill.
That's a landmine.
Come
I'm not stepping on that. Nope. Not happening. Not in this lifetime. Not in any other lifetime.
How about
I enjoy them all. They're wonderful, wonderful people. I can tell you right now, I'm not killing anybody.
Okay.
It's like
How about just the Mary?
I'm like a Buddhist. Actually, you know what? I'd like to be a Mormon and marry all three of them.
Listen, that's a solid answer. Brian S. asks, what started the Rainbow Room argument? Can you finally reveal what the argument was about?
I can't tell you what the argument was about. Because quite honestly, I probably had a couple of drinks in me.
Okay.
However, at the time, nobody realized this. My wife and I were separated. And we were trying to work things out. And Jackie and Nancy were celebrating, of all things, their anniversary. And they invited us. They thought it was a very special evening. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if we should go to this thing. And my wife was saying, look, they're friends. It's their night, et cetera, et cetera. We were feeling, and we didn't want to let anybody know on the show that we were having difficulties.
Yeah.
And we were. And to this day, I'm still not sure what those difficulties were. But we're back together and everything's hunky-dory. Anyway, it was probably not the best thing to do considering our emotional matrimonial state at the time.
Okay.
As Jackie and Nancy got up to dance, I think I was kind of pressing, why aren't things working out? Why, like we're going to solve, our marital problems, with me being half drunk in the middle of a public place with people watching, et cetera, et cetera. And it went very bad very quickly. And the only thing that I could do at that point in time was just, you know what? I'm upsetting her. I'm ruining the evening. I got to walk. And that's what I did. So any other stories that you may have heard of that evening of me throwing things, not true. Me trying to hit somebody, not true. There was some allegations made that I can tell you right now. I may have been looped, but other than being clumsy and loud and stupid, that's as far as it went.
Good to know. Thank you for shedding light on that. Question from Tony N. Tony asks, where do you think you would be today if you and Howard never crossed paths?
Man, that's almost like one of those things like a Jimmy Stewart movie or something like that. Every time you hear a bell ring, Sal drops his pants. I don't know where I'd be today, I'll be honest with you. It was a happy accident that it all went down. I mean, in a million years, I never thought that I'd be where I am today in New York. And unlike other people on this program who hate New York, not growing up here, I'm considered to be a rube, a hillbilly, someone who is very unsophisticated. However, I don't know, for some reason when I was a little kid, there was always a fantasy in the back of my mind, I'd love to go to New York. I'd love to see what it's all about. It was exciting to me. No one else in my family ever had that desire. They all wanted to stay right where they were. And there's no shame in that. But there was something to me about going to a place where everybody wanted to be, where you could do exciting things, where you could see symphonies. Yeah, I like symphonic music, okay? Call me a queer. I don't give a shit. I like symphonic music. And, things of that nature. New York was where I wanted to be. And the fact that I'm able to live out a dream of being creative, being part of something that is monumental. It has certainly exceeded all my expectations in life. So to imagine being anywhere else, that would be depressing, I think.
Okay, stay here then. Question from Ann H. Ann asks, please take us through the process of hearing the mention of something, and then Gary asks, who were your heroes growing up that inspired you to get into radio?
I really didn't have any radio heroes because, quite honestly, there was nobody where I was growing up that was great. And I didn't have access to New York radio. We're a little too far away. I mean, you know, when you hear the stories about the Cousin Bruceys and Marie the Kays and all that, I mean, what they were doing in Hartford, which was the main market where I grew up, it was all pale imitations of what they were doing in New York. I mean, I think there were some times when they would actually, like, especially during the era of the Beatles, you know, it's like New York stations would get the Beatles record before Hartford. I mean, Hartford was a 35th, 36th market. So it's going to be like, you know, it's like by Wells Fargo Stagecoach. We'll get the record like 3 days later or something like that. But you had some guys who wanted to be aggressive, so they might actually drive into New York, tape it off the radio, and then drive it back and then play it on the air or something like that. And occasionally you would hear like WABC. Oh, somehow that wasn't supposed to be on their airway, but they wanted to get every ounce of that song on their airways before before they had to fade it out or something like that. So there was nobody really there. I mean, Bob Steele, look up Bob Steele. I'm not going to bore you with who Bob Steele was. The only other guy I could think of was a guy by the name of Sandy Beach. And all he did was laugh. He had this laugh that kind of sounded like a dolphin going through a prostate exam. And that was his thing. You know, he didn't really say anything particularly witty. It was like, you know, I'm Sandy Beach. And believe it or not, I think he's still around. I've actually, you know, gone on the internet a couple times. Okay, here he is in Buffalo. Okay, here he is in some station in Long Island, and it just looks depressing because, you know, when you're a kid, you're listening to the radio, and it sounded like an exciting world, and you imagine that these people are larger than life, and to find out they're like in some hole in Dubuque is just very depressing. I mean, what we do here is just amazing. You know, it's like that's what we do here is above and beyond what radio should be. This isn't real radio. This is an anomaly.
If you could only save one of these two from dying, your choices are Jackie or Stuttering John. Who do you save? Please explain why you would like to see the other person not saved.
Slam dunk.
What do you got?
Jackie Martling. Jackie Martling, you know, in spite of the fact that maybe, you know, we've had our moments or whatever. I mean, you know what? We were very close personally off the air. Our wives, when he was married to, whoever he was married to, were very close. Jackie and I, when he wasn't complaining about everything, was a fun guy to hang around with. John, you know, I'm not going to get too down on him because that makes me look like a, you know, like a malcontent or something like that. You know, I don't hate John. Everybody has, oh, you hate John, blah, 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 you're jealous. And it's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I just didn't particularly like his work ethic. You know, I think he got a lot from this show without really doing a whole hell of a lot. And that has nothing to do with where he ended up in his life. It has more to do with, you know, it was like, you know, he was like Huck Finn. He had everybody else painting the fences for him while he sat back and, you know, I mean, there were people who take great delight in telling, oh yeah, John had me do his work for him and he paid me $10. I'm like, no, that was John's job to do. It's like he's paying you to do that. I don't know. So if there is a reason that I'm not crazy about him in my lifetime, it's like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for people who work hard and people who are honest and people who don't try and flim-flam you. And I think he did all three.
John's not getting saved.
No, not by me anyhow. He'll talk someone else into taking the bullet for him, I guess.
I want to thank Fred for taking the time to answer the questions that you, the fans, submitted.
Aren't you sorry? Aren't you sorry you asked these?
Send your questions in. You can tweet them. You can Facebook them. You can send a video submission and be a part of the show. You can email them. Remember, this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next time, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time. Did you have a fine time today?
Yes, I did.
I had a fine time too.
And if I didn't say that, Richie Wilson would have beat the out of me.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm well.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's good about it?
Well, nothing. It's Monday.
I get 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I've got hemorrhoids the size of golf balls. Where am I going?